Behold the classic Manapua, or Char Siu Bao. But this isn't like those dainty little Char Siu Baos that you get at dim sum. At dim sum, the point is to enjoy a little taste of lots of different things. So those baos are small and flavorful, and just enough for you to move on to your hakao or hamsoi kop. No, Manapua are more like dai bao, those big substantial baos of farmers to fill you up and give you energy so you can get back to work. To me, the greatest of all time would have to be Char Hung Sut. Their Manapua was perfect. Perfect breading, perfect finely shredded, not diced, meat with just the right flavor. I used to love them so much as a kid that my gonggong would get up in the morning, catch the bus all the way to Chinatown to pick up some for me, and catch the bus all the way back home in time for lunch. No one can match them. Unfortunately, like so many other places, they closed their doors after the COVID pandemic. I'm still heartbroken. So I'm on a quest to determine which of the remaining Manapua shops is best. Here are the contenders. I don't actually get out to Aiea very often, but my friends from that side would go on about Aiea Manapua and snacks. So I thought I'd give them a try. Chun Wah Kam is another very old Hawaii institution. They even have a nice new location outside of Ala Moana, but I want to visit the original location in Kalihi. Kalihi being a more industrial area, you feel like you're getting it from the source. If I had to pick a second favorite Manapua, it would have to be Island Manapua Factory. Being in Manoa Marketplace, they were also more convenient for me than going down to Chinatown. But the last few times I went, they just didn't taste right, and I was so utterly disappointed. Then I found out that they actually sold the Manoa location, and that it is actually Aloha Manapua now. But the original owners still have their original Kalihi location. Again, being in Kalihi makes much more sense for a Manapua factory. And I'm really anxious to see if they're as good as the Island Manapua factory that I remember. Manapua is so beloved by everyone, it's not even a Chinese thing anymore. It's a local thing. Golden Coin is one of our premier Filipino bakeries. It's definitely where I would go to get pandesal. But do Filipinos really know how to make a Chinese classic like Manapua? All I can say is, this is Hawaii, so it is certainly possible. And if you want to see their creds, well, they're the supplier for the Manapua you would buy at Costco. So that's gotta count for something. Finally hitting Chinatown, and Royal Kitchen is one of the most famous places to get manapua here. They've got so many different fillings too, not just char siu, but we're gonna stick with the classic here. When I think of Yuen, they are the place to get the best mooncakes at Mid-Autumn Festival, or tongko, candied fruits during Chinese New Year. They even supplied the lo po bang, or wife cakes, for my sister's wedding. I didn't even realize that they also sold manapua. Gotta see if it's as good as everything else they do. I didn't even know that there was a manapua place by Don Quixote, but my wife's family always used to like going there. Maybe it's partially the location, or maybe her gonggong knew something that I didn't. Gotta give them a chance. Okay, almost at the end of the line. Duck Li is my go-to place for suyuk, roast pork, siu nga, roast duck, or char siu. So if their char siu is so good, their char siu bao must be good too, right? Let's find out. Finally, to round it all out, we're gonna stop at, well, 7-Eleven. Because you know what? This is Hawaii, and you can get manapua at every 7-Eleven across the state. That in itself is awesome. Let's see how they compare to the big leagues. Wow, that's a lot of manapua. I hope the family is hungry. Okay, how are we doing this? Well, first, we're going to try and keep this impartial. So I'm going to write where the manapua comes from on the bottom of the plate. So then I'm going to have everyone take a taste and give the bao a score. I was trying to come up with a good scoring system, and this is what I got. 5 points for the breading. Is it soft? Is it hard? Is it wet? Is it stale? 5 points for the meat. Is it juicy? Is the flavor right? The texture? 5 points for the meat to bread ratio. Gotta have that right balance. And 5 points for an overall satisfaction, for a total of 20 points. Let's dig in. My popo would tell me that in the old days, just like how you would have ice cream trucks going around the neighborhood and children hearing the music would flock to buy ice cream, there used to be an old manapua man who would walk around the neighborhood with a bamboo pole on his shoulder and 2 steamers on each side, calling out, Manapua? Pe-pe-yao? Of course, they were long gone by the time I was a kid. Contender A isn't bad. Bread's is okay, but a little heavy compared to the meat. Just kind of basic to me. Many of the classic Manapua places from my youth are gone, like Libby's in Kalihi or Kwan On in Kaimuki. But the Manapua is as popular as ever. Contender B is just what I'm looking for. The bread is super soft. The meat looks just right, finely shredded, bright red. But I'm gonna have to take off a point because it's already getting a little sour just from the time to take it home and set up. The local name, Manapua, is actually a mispronunciation of the Hawaiian Mea ono pua'a, or delicious pig thing. See, that makes a lot more sense, right? Than Manapua, which would actually translate to spiritual flower. Contender C is just kind of meh. Average bread, average meat. Not bad, but meh. Contender D, to me, is just too wet. I'm not expecting so much sauce on my meat. The flavor should be incorporated throughout. My dad, though, would love this because he likes things wet and saucy. Contender E is pretty good. I like the meat. Okay, my kids think I should have thrown out contender F because it's a baked manapua rather than a steamed one. Not a fair comparison. So this is obviously Royal Kitchen, since they're the only ones who don't even offer a steamed manapua. But I wanted to include them just because they're so famous. I'm kinda sorry to say that no one really enjoyed Contender G. The bread was kinda stale and the meat not so tasty. My family kept ragging on them. Sorry, Contender G. No one was really enjoying Contender H either. The bread was kind of mushy with no real texture. I would say we're just getting full and not enjoying them as much, but we all tried them at different random orders, so that's not it. It was just okay. I liked Contender I well enough. They're a decent bao, kinda average down the line, but nothing really made them stand out to me. Aw man, I'm stuffed. Okay, let's add everything up and see who won. First, we'll add up my scores, then add in the scores for the rest of the family. My highest score, and my favorite, was no real surprise. Aiea Manapua Factory. To me, they're exactly what a manapua should taste like. Though my kids said we should throw out Royal Kitchen, they're actually the ones they like the best. Maybe they just like baked baos over steamed ones. A question for another time. But let's add up all of our scores and see who we liked best overall as a family. And the winner is... Chun Wah Kam! Kinda surprising since we hadn't really gone there very often. But kinda not surprising since they really are an old Hawaii institution from a long time ago. Until next time, Joy Kim and a hui ho.